Steven here. So today we're going to be talking about the TurboAnt R9. This is the newest release for TurboAnt for the year 2025. This electric scooter really impressed me. The biggest problem with the entry-level scooters is that they don't go up to the 28 miles per hour top speed. A lot of the scooters that I got, they say like, oh, we 500 watts, 600 watts, we go up to 28 miles per hour. And they don't. I weigh 190 pounds, a backpack plus some helmets, probably about 200 pounds. And they just don't go up to 28 miles per hour. They go up to 23, 24 maybe if you're lucky. Just slowly crawls up to 28 miles per hour if you give it enough room. I think if you give it maybe a few hundred meters, it will go up to 28 miles per hour. The story is it will go up to that speed. And it's mostly because it's got 600 watts of nominal power, but it has a really high peak power at roughly about 1300 watts. So when you need that torque, when you need that acceleration, this thing delivers for a short period of time to kind of send you to that speed in which you need. So I do think peak power is something definitely to look for. A lot of these entry-level scooters, they claim to have good power, but their peak power is just really low. So this one delivers. When I get the get off and go, that little torque, I feel it. And then it consistently delivers you to that higher speed. I think this scooter is even comparable to the Swiss engineered VX2. The VX2 runs about close to $1,000 and this one is $500. And when it comes to a just performance, a speed performance, this one is really similar to that. So it's almost half price. Of course, the build quality is more industrial. It's got this tubular design, very minimalistic. And here it's just kind of like it looks like plastic, but it's not. It's a really thick sheet of metal. Feels pretty damn good. So this whole thing, even though it looks pretty simple, but I think the overall design is good. And it looks pretty darn slim too. I really like this design, and especially for, I just think from $550 for this scooter, this build quality, this raw industrial design, and the top speed that it provides, this is good enough to justify the $550 price. But it's also got this thing. It's also got dual suspensions in the front, so one on this side, and you also have one on this side, and you also have rear suspensions, one on this side and one on this side. These are not super plush. They're still, despite having 4 suspension, the ride is still somewhat firm. It's not like a super plush ride that I was thinking about. But this, it doesn't deliver a super plush ride when you go off-road, like extreme off-road. It dampens quite a bit. It's really nice, but it still leans on the firmer side. So when you go on, say like when you go on riding in the city, on city streets where there's potholes, unevenness, this is perfect for that adjustment. When you go ride on the street, I love it. When you go off-road, say like if you're just on grass, it's still very good, right? So in the city, I would say like it's 10 out of 10. It's extremely good for that high-speed pavement with occasional kind of rough patches. It's extremely good, 10 out of 10. When it's on grass, I give it 8 out of 10. You begin to feel a little bit of it, but you can still go very fast in the grass. And then when you go to patches of roads when it's really rough, that's when you start to feel it doesn't absorb all of that unevenness. So when it comes to really rough terrain, which this scooter isn't built for, I would give it, like maybe a 6 out of 10. Still pass. If you need to go through a short patch to get to the roads that you need to get to, it's still fine. But aside from that, like I give it an A- when it comes to spring suspensions. And also it's got 10-inch pneumatic tires. These tires are quite plush. They're quite soft. You see here when I'm pressing it, it presses down quite a bit. They're slightly noisy on pavement streets. The ride quality is quite plush, and it gives you that flexibility to go off-road and on-road whenever you want. So So super cool if your commute requires a little bit of off-road, or you just want the flexibility of being able to off-road whenever you need to. Okay, so another thing is integrated LEDs. Look at this. Yeah, pretty visible during the day. Definitely very good LED system, and it blinks really red when you pull on the brakes. So let me pull that real quick, see if you can see it. See, it gets way bright. It gets way brighter when it's when the brakes are pulled, and you can still see the LEDs. So yeah, I love this design. I think it's minimalistic. So this way they put all the money onto the motors, so it gives you the best motors with the best peak power. No complaints there. And the deck design is a little bit narrow, falls a little bit on the narrow side, but I still find it to be pretty comfortable for a person with size 10. The battery is enclosed under here. The kickstand is the front, so it's super convenient. When you get off, you can just kick it open, and the battery charger is right here, the little gasket. I am slightly concerned about how watertight or waterproof this little button is. I would not advise you to submerge this thing underwater. Also, drum brakes. Let me go on to the other side real quick. Okay, so we're on the other side of the scooter, and you can see here, this is drum brakes. So fully enclosed drum brakes on this side, and fully enclosed drum brakes on this side as well. I'm beginning to love drum brakes for entry-level scooters, because most entry-level scooters are not meant to be super performant. It's just meant to get you from point A to point B, and you want as less hassle as possible. I think with the roughly 10 scooters with the disc brakes that I reviewed on the channel, like 8 out of 9 had some sort of disc rubbing or disc issue that I have to maintain, which is super annoying. But this is weather sealed, it's weatherproof, and this just makes long-term low maintenance riding super convenient. Okay, let's go to the higher. Cool, let's talk about the control panel. Hold the power button for a few seconds and it turns on, but the screen is really hard to see. Like, it's not just about it being like on the screen that's hard to see. Like, I have to kind of cover the screen with my hands and then I'm able to see. Let me go into the shadowy area so maybe now you guys can see it. Just blinking really hard. You see this person? That means it's in walking mode. Click it one more time, it goes into mode 2. As you probably can't see it, but there's a blue 2 right here. And then there's a red 3 over there. So that's in mode 3. So you got a walking mode, and then 2, and then 3. And then you get to see your miles per hour odometer. Now this thing right here is actually to clip onto this thing when it's folded. So normally scooters would have this thing somewhere over here, but what's over here is actually a USB cable, so it can actually charge your phone or charge anything that you want to if you want to mount something over here. It's pretty hard to peel out, but if you do want that, you know, that is available. This is very smooth. The throttle is very smooth. The only thing about the throttle, the scooter comes default with a kickstart, so you have to kickstart it first, roll it a little bit, and then press the throttle, and then it will turn on. The brakes are surprisingly snappy. Usually these entry-level brakes are not very snappy and spongy, but these are extremely responsive, and they feel super good, super nice for an entry-level scooter to be able to press on. Like, it feels very nice, right? And the girth the girth of the handlebars, it feels a little too thick for some people with small hands. I have super tiny hands. Usually I wear a small size glove, so yeah, it just feels a little big. I prefer smaller ones so that I can add to it, but now I can't you know, subtract from it. But still, like it gives you decent amount of grip, and it's plush. It feels comfortable. And then you get your left and right, and you get a little horn right here. It's for pedestrians. No car is going to be able to hear you. And overall, the length is pretty good. It's not like a super wide stance, but it's just enough. I do feel the stem is a little bit lower, maybe just 1 inch or 2 inch lower than what I'm used to, but it still feels very good. It's a very comfortable and relaxed position. And with that being said, oh yeah, you also get a front headlight right here. In the front headlight, you can turn it on just by pressing the power button once. It beeps. Super bright. I think it's got like 6 LEDs in there or something. Yeah, like you can adjust how high this thing faces, and it's pretty darn bright. With that being said, this thing feels super maneuverable, holds its own in all kinds of terrain. Oh yeah, and the cable management. Usually for beginner scooters, cable management, there's no cable management. But for here, they route the cable into the tube, and it comes out over here, and it comes in a braid and goes all the way down. So it's extremely clean. Super nice industrial design, and they definitely put all the money into the motors and the top speed. So yeah, I am super impressed with this scooter, and I think it's extremely worth the price. Very, I would say this is probably the best $500 electric scooter that I've reviewed on this channel. And yeah, if I were to spend $500 right now, I would definitely get this scooter. So yeah, be sure to use my coupon code be sure to use my affiliate link and coupon code to save more money on this TurboAnt. Oh, actually, I don't even have an affiliate for this, because they asked for my social security to set up an affiliates link. So I'm like, nope, not gonna be doing that. But aside from that, this scooter is freaking amazing. All right, so this is kind of like a real-time review. If you do want to know more about like a more polished review on this, visit my main channel. There's a link down below so you can read more about it. All right, thank you. See you later.